Hey, my brothers and sisters, it's your boy Zach, and welcome back to some more Chaos Zero Nightmare. So, it is day 3 of the half anniversary, so that means we now have access to this ticket, which is a free combatant of our choosing. It goes up to everybody right before Diana. So, there's a lot of characters to pick from. But we go to storage and we go to consumables, and it will be right here. And yeah, it will just show all the characters that you can choose from. Now, me personally, probably gonna be one of these two, more than likely Renoa. I tried my 200 pools, didn't get her even in those, so just for collection purposes, probably gonna go for the Renoa, just being completely honest. But for you guys, you should probably more than likely go for one of the newer units. I would say don't use this ticket until after you've done your 200 pulls, so you can, get one of the main characters, like the main standard characters first, and then use this ticket. When it comes to who to choose out of the 200 pulls, honestly, there's two options that you should just more than likely aim for if there's no specific character you want. And those two would be either Mei Lin or Veronica, because they're both like super good. Or Orlia. Orlia is also a really good choice as well. So 1, 2, and 3 should be the main ones you're aiming for out of those 200 pools, because any of those 3 characters will carry you very far. Orlia is one of the best supports now with how she supplies vulnerable and increases attack power of other combatants' cards. Mei Lin is a crazy DPS that can just hammer away at enemies with multiple hit cards and just do big chunks of damage. And then Veronica is just a good sub DPS slash support with having one of the best card draws in the game, which is a 0 cost 2 draw that you just make copies of, which helps you cycle through literally any deck. So in terms of the 200, those would be the characters that you really would want to aim for. But outside of that, when it comes to the newer characters that have released, because honestly, once you get past this second half, they're all the new characters down there. But out of the newer characters, honestly, the strongest ones are 9, Narja, and Tefera. These are the 3 strongest ones in all actuality. Rita is a fun character and is a heavy hitter, but overall 9 is just hits harder. And I would say has more team versatility than Rita, because, well, Rita really just needs a lot of AP. I mean, Rita's best team consists of Tefera and Micah, so yeah, it needs a lot of energy there. But yeah, in terms of DPS, 9 would be your best bet, because she's just disgusting. She does it all. Just literally all her epiphanies are good, so you just have a lot to play around with her. It's not like the other 4 are like terrible or anything. It's just they don't reach the same level as 9. They're all good in their own right. They just don't hit as hard as 9 and aren't as versatile. Quite literally, just being honest. Because while 9 can do AoE and single target and sustain, Yuki's more of an AoE character. They have constantly been buffing her to improve her capabilities of single target and everything else. But even with her most recent set of buffs, which were a majority just number increases across the board, I can see them buffing her again, because I don't think she's really increased that much in terms of how good she is even after the most recent buffs. So they're still working. They're definitely still working on Yuki. Chizuru is pretty much, honestly, just she's a void Mei Lin with more gimmick going on. They did relieve some of her gimmick in terms of her AP restrictions with her buffs, but it's either just multiple hits with her basic setup using her basic card, or it's just going to be really hard heavy hit nuker. So it's either multiple basic attack hits or heavy hit nuker. Those are your really 2 options for her. Haru, heavy hitter, heavy single target hitter, and then Rita, another heavy single target hitter, but she has a really unique gimmick of having her own little AP system. But yeah, 9 definitely the strongest. Next up, I'll say Rita. Then after that, it would be Chizuru, and then I would say Yuki and Haru around the same at 1 copy. But past that, the 2 supports here, honestly, Tefera would probably give you more mileage in the long run, while Narja is good for buffing defensive characters, because she does increase defense-based damage and whatnot, and she does have the ability to lower cost of cards. Me personally, I just feel like Tefera would carry you further in a more all-around sense for being able to be used on more teams overall, other than just defensive-based ones for the most part in Narja's case, because that's really what she's centered around. increasing defensive base damage. Or she does have some basic attack utility in there too in terms of supporting as well. But yeah, that's how this all bakes down. As far as the standard characters, again, Mei, Lin, Veronica, or Leah, because obviously you can only get one of them from the 200 pools. Hugo is another good one in terms of a sub DPS, because he just pairs alongside most attackers in general, so he's good there. Magna is good, but I am biased. I'm very biased on Magna. I try not to bring my bias into it too much, but I mean, Magna is a really good character, along with the new set, which should increase her counterattack damage, as well as all the new items and whatnot. On top of the fact that the tower just officially got released, and defensive characters do shine the best there. So both Magna and Nine will do a pretty good speed run in that regard in terms of the tower, because they can last quite a long time with their sustainabilities. Galpy is also another good option, but I wouldn't really push on her too much, if I'm being completely honest. In terms of, using one of your summon tickets on, I would recommend just going for the newer characters. But if you did want one of the, standard ones, then yeah, honestly, Malin, Veronica, or Leah. And outside of those three, then Hugo I would slide in there as well, just as a sub DPS. And if I'm being biased, Magna. But all the other ones, I mean, you'd be fine just pulling them, by losing 50-50 sporadically, and just instead of just wasting a whole ticket on them, if I'm being completely honest. So yeah, I think that's everything. But like I said, for me, even from a dupe perspective, 'cause I'm thinking about the dupes I can get for these characters, but I don't care. I want my copy of her, finally. So, like I said, I'm gonna get exactly what I said I would. We finally got the vice captain. Finally. But now I have somebody else to work on. So fun times. Honestly, I could just pair her up with Diana and then have a just solo for Hydomare. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully this video was informative and helpful in some way, shape, or form. I will see you in the next one. I love you guys, and bye-bye.